The name of the game when it comes to Fitinho. Sometimes he has those lights out games.
Recently,
and then the lights are out
more
afterwards. Well, let's see if the consistency can hold through and true. As we move on into Lotus, and it's Giants on their defensive side, getting a bit of aggression out early. The B side under threat. We've got Paranoia Hell to flash out a Cloud. Which one's going to be the point of contact? Flash up for and it's got Melser to turn. They've picked up the opening kill and they'll fall back. Look at this C side as well. Defended by both the Killjoy of Nukia and the Viper of Hoodie. And that utility is keeping them back.
Already, after the failed initial battle, you've got a couple of sheriffs in hand trying to just rotate back around. Try and find something, and they have found a relatively open A site. If they were to go pushing into that direction, it seems like the defense is almost open to playing the retake. Of course, Kesnet has somewhat given up the game by taking the orb, but probably won't have the realization that there's currently nobody here. Just slowly clearing out, actually on his own. The rest of the team are just waiting for those rotations. I think they've made that realization now that they are a little bit further away, unfortunately. For Nagzet, that is not the timing he was looking for.
No, low HP on Cloud and Rhyme, but the man advantage most certainly locked down for Giants. They'll look to retake together. That's great point of contact. Kesnet hears the Tiger on its way, fires the nade through, disrupts them a little. Davy's going to try to take advantage of any gaps in this retake, but there were none. They've grouped up, they're pushing it together. Bar Rhyme was a little ahead of the pack on that, but he's found the kill for his trouble. That is as clean of a start as you could hope for the side of Giants.
A really good start to this game, and I do think that there is a decent amount of potential of this game coming down to the finer margins. So having solid pistol strats, getting off to a good start in these sort of rounds with more explosive plays, and well, the fact that they managed to remove one of the controllers straight off the bat is a huge start for Giants. I think in this series as well, the map pool does have a decent crossover, but Giants are going to be very happy with the fact that their permaban of Fracture was actually taken out by their opponents. So they got to remove one of their other slightly weaker maps, and I think they're going to be thanking KRU for that one later.
Yeah, definitely. KRU obviously just worried about there being an ace up the sleeve. There's been a lot of time to prepare. Maybe Giants would pull it out in an elimination match. They weren't willing to run that risk. For the side of Giants, with that pistol under their belt, they've decided to invest very heavily. I mean, they've got rifles on 4 players. It's just Nukia that's coming in with a Spectre. The side of KRU should find it hard to really force any favorable fights throughout this round. They're taking it slow and steady, poking and prodding at this defense on A, figuring out exactly how they like to defend it. What utility is where, what reactions come into play. When you open that door, is it going to burn up snake bites, for example?
The thing is, Hoodie's going to be someone that's really irritating to remove from this spot. We see this from quite a lot of Vipers just playing around this A site. Nagza is actually just burning out his utility while the rest of the team look to try and fake back in towards that B site. That's where Nukia currently resides, but he also has a teammate in the form of Cloud, who could potentially pop a flash through this one. It seems like, again, though, they're just going to be holding on for the retake. So KRU getting into an afterplant already. Let's see how much damage they can do.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. They've burned up a lot of utility. They put them into a post plant now, and look. Oh, okay, the opening was found. Nothing else afterwards. Oh, my. And that'll be just the Spectre lost. I imagine someone's going to bring Nukia that weapon.
They got a bit unlucky there, because as you said, they burnt up a lot of utility. The one player that still had a full belt was Rhyme. 3 players push towards him, and he hits them all with the Paranoia and then just swings onto the angle. It was about as cursed as it can get for KRU in the early rounds, but with only a single kill found in 2, this is where you kind of hope now that they step up. But you look at the fact, Kesnet, 0 kills, 2 deaths, but he does have his ult online. They've been farming. They've been going around the map and picking up those ultimate orbs to make sure that he has his showstopper online. So a huge early ult for the side of KRU and a chance for them to get back onto the board.
Well, bringing a little bit of home to the international stage. You see Lembo there on our screens, the leader of pretty much all of Giants' chants throughout the regular season in EMEA. Good to see him waving that flag once more. And with pride as they're 2-0 up the 3rd round, the real test for the side of Giants. They're coming in with the pistol on Cloud, but as we said, they had bought so many rifles. It's not just the rifles on the side of KRU, though. It's that big old rocket launcher looking for a victim. and finding nothing. They've lost a player, Klaus, in the meantime. That nade, though, it's going to force him out. Hoodie has to fight, and he'll lose his life.
I think hearing him push forward, it made it all too easy for Kesnet. A 3-man flank, though. Davies might not be expecting this. Hit by the paranoia, but still managing to just sit up close and not cleared properly. Still just surviving at the back. And with Cloud already low on HP, this is an easy cleanup for Davies, leaving just Nuke standing. Bit of a shaky first fight for Melza, not going to be able to close this one out. And in the end, Kesnet is there alongside him. KRU onto the board with minimal losses and a good break back.
Very clean return from the side of KRU, yeah, it has to be said. And I mean, you got Davies hitting shots like that already. 3 players. You know, you said the last guy was low HP, and you were right, but he still went for the headshot. Didn't give a damn about the health in play. And that's a promising beginning to this attack side. You know, you lose the pistol, you lose the follow-up. You can put that to the back of your mind. This was a, you know, normally you wouldn't celebrate the 3rd round so aggressively, but like we said, Giants had a lot to bring to the table there. There was a showstopper burned up, but not for too much reward. Here's the rifle round again, though. Giants now with 5 weapons in hand.
Yeah, this is where things should get a little bit tougher. Don't have the showstopper to immediately clear out the site. This is where you're going to spot that Hoodie has gone back to his classic position around the door. Early aggression as well from Rhyme, just taking some space over on C. It definitely gives them that little bit of early information and already trying to put a little bit of damage with the spams. Not quite the Odin, so it's not going to be taking him out. Vitinho holding on for contact, and or maybe Kesnet has taken a little bit more damage. Getting all the way down. That's the heal completely expended.
Same thing here with the door going up. 54 on the clock. Spike towards B. They're just burning the utility, getting those snake bites out of play. Trying to control exactly what Giants are going to have to work with later on in this game. Later on in the round, you can see the B play is definitely the target. KRU have already shown their preference, even in the pistol. Move towards this kind of area, and they'll break their way through. Actually fighting in towards the spawn. There were 2 waiting here, but they have just dished them up.
Yeah, that was a trap play from Giants. They played a couple of players further back just to try and catch them off guard, and it has failed miserably. The entry power of this KRU squad just unmatched, and even though the paranoia didn't hit, it seemed like they were scared to take those fights. Vitinho looking for a way back in, looking to try and find an entry frag, and Klaus has given him nothing. All too easy, and for the remaining 2, it almost seems like a necessity to try and save, but they're chasing, running it all the way down, trying to find Rhyme on the other side of things. He will survive that little bit longer, but Kesnet is still pushing, still here. Might not even be expected, but Rhyme is diligent in his checks.
Could be just worth it, though, if they can manage to drop one of those weapons, but now with 2 players down, no idea where Hoodie is. The round might conclude without further engagement, but hold on, just around the corner was Nagzit. And he will be dropped. Another kill for the side of Giants. They've made it costly, if nothing else, from a position that didn't look too great. But that's scary now. We're seeing Kesnet really heated up. Aggressive push into the spawn. And, well, he has the backup of Klaus as well. It's a scary duo for the entry.
Well, 2-2. Kesnet and Klaus doing a fantastic job in these last couple of rounds, and some quieter starts. The fact is they've been able to rotate back into that B site quite comfortably over a couple of rounds. I wonder if Giants are going to have to make some sort of adaptation. Now you have to bear in mind they do only have those couple of rifles that were saved through. The rest is in the form of SMGs and a lockdown on either side. And with the early aggression, I think being spotted by that attacking side, they have opted to fall all the way out. The Tiger not really going to spot anybody close, so I don't expect the paranoia to be used just yet. And when it comes down to some of these more awkward fights in towards the spawn, I don't think it's worth Giants pushing that far forward.
Now, they've made that call as well, just leaving the 1-man posted to hold that C re-aggression if it does come through. One-way smoke as well coming in. The same thing with the door, man. They are just burning the util, making it costly.
Nags' job is literally just spam the door, he snake bites, you spam the door again in a few seconds to make him use the other one.
Just keep spinning it around. Well, Hoodie's been wise with his second snake bites, holding those for late round. 45 on the clock. Here's the fight. Nagzit lurking up, but Hoodie was watching it. The headshot traded, but it's Nagzit with the better weapon for that range. Vandal headshot, easy kill, and the A site under threat. Rhyme's gone for the TP, but he's cancelled it. And it's going to be a long rotation back.
Yeah, for the rest of the team, it really does look somewhat hopeless. Rhyme can gamble this rifle if he so decides, because they will have an investment into the next round anyway. It's more so how much do they believe they can get back into this one. Lockdown, I would be surprised to see it used just because there's a counter on the other side, but almost definitely be used immediately. Davies, well, probably doesn't know how many players are currently on the other side of that smoke. For Kesnit, it's looking like a bit more of a shooting range, a cleanup, a few players dropping on the other side, but realistically, the time already being bought, and just a chance for Rhyme, Coutinho to try and do some damage, but they are not missing a beat on the KRU side. Davies with another double, and KRU now take themselves the lead.
Well handled. I like the control that they're taking, but realistically, that just comes down to the second that Hoodie falls, this round was in the gutter. Giants so far away, have been stacked up towards the C side, and oh, what? What a reaction to that. He gets buffed up into the air with his aim, and he's right back to the head. You can see they're happy about that one. We're going to get a round 6 timeout to start it. Giants want to take a moment and get back on the right game plan. This is a round they're coming into with that lockdown still in their back pocket, but they're investing all of their economy. We might see that op for Coutinho. He's bought it right now. We don't know if he'll keep it. But the key thing is they're putting it all on the line. KRU could be about to run away with this game, at least with this half, if they take this round. And you've got a showstopper and a lockdown online. KRU winning the ult economy coming into a crucial round.
That's the thing. I feel like they have just been investing a lot into Kesnit getting that ult again and again. Because in their post-spawns, they've looked very good. It's just having that ability to take the site almost for free, and Giants being forced back off that angle. Words being said early on by Pipson, of course, someone who we know has regimented this team, created a huge amount of strategical depth. The expectations on him here are trying to fix things early, because we already know that on the attack side, both teams probably going to be able to put up a decent amount of rounds, but it's grinding out those defensive scenarios for Giants. So using one of their pauses early enough so they can try and fix some of the issues they've had.
It's a good call. I can't believe we saw in the crowd a two-sided sign. One for Giants, one for KRU. Who would do that, Tom?
Didn't you do that with BCJ and Enzo?
Never.
I'm
there's
pretty
no
sure
proof.
There's actually a lot of proof. There's a worrying amount of proof. Like, it's almost like you wanted to get caught.
It was in 4K, quite literally. Well, round 6 kicking off. Giants' pause has subsided. And it looks like, again, KRU are going to show that preference towards the B site. Kesnit, rocket launcher in his back pocket, and it's going to be fired out into the hole. Let's see if there's anyone waiting there. He's blocked out right now. Timmy delaying him a little bit. Every little helps, and well, that's a little bit of damage done. Kesnit, unfortunately, dealing it to himself. He's going to be healed back up, but again, Hoodie to fall, losing the battle of the Vipers to the A site, and some pressure now applied. This lockdown as well, quite passive.
Yeah, both sides have used their lockdown, and unfortunately for Giants, the attack one is going to be the one that burns out later, so they just have to sit back and wait. Melsa is going to sit back in this corner, managing to dodge that lockdown, and Rhyme trying to find a get back in. He's basically just stuck on the button at this stage with his opponent waiting on the other side. Melsa wins that fight as well. In fact, they're winning the majority. Only Coutinho left, a 1 versus 4 with an operator. I don't think it's going to be happening. And well, that's his first kill, Mitch. It's not been a bright start.
Oh, they know he isn't off. They want to take him down. So close. Coutinho needs to survive, and he'll get the shot off in time. Just about carrying this operator through for Giants. That might be the one light at the end of the tunnel for this squad, because they don't have a whole lot else to work with.
That's the thing. He has been someone in their previous series and throughout EMEA who I think has hit the level we wanted to see from him. Like, I think we knew coming into this roster, there were high expectations of Nuke, Cloud, Hoodie. Like, we knew what we were getting, whereas Coutinho was that sort of, that's the risk in my eyes at least. In their previous matchup, he was incredible. One of the reasons that series was so close. Thus far, wow, he's had 2 exit frags. That's all we've seen from him. But this time, a little bit more aggressive, looking to take the round into his own hands, with the rest of the team actually buying up around this, Mitch. This isn't them taking an eco off the back.
Moving in. They've been stalled by a nano. Rhyme able to pick up 1 as they're disrupted on their way into the site. That door didn't do too much for him in the previous round, but this time there's a reward aplenty. The squad seems to be set on the B site. That's a bit of damage on the way through. Nukia drop gives them a plant for sure.
Well, this is the one time where that damage is actually going to be felt, because Klaus was the first to fall. So no heals available to bring Kesnit back up. But these after plants from KRU have been nigh on unstoppable. Been very happy to get aggressive, and this time Rhyme is ready for it. He got killed in the last round trying to walk through a smoke, so this time, okay, I'm gonna spam the smoke.
It's taken Hoodie so long to rotate, just ever vigilant for Nagzit's lurk. Last Pack's trying to put them off their aim, but every shot is hitting. The side of Giants flood back into B, claiming it with relative ease. That's a third round on the board, and a much needed win for the side of Giants. KRU could have been about to hit their stride, and even if that op isn't saved over, you might not have seen that level of investment here from Giants. They might have been much more neutered coming into this round.
Yeah, I think this might be something that was mentioned in the pause as well, is that KRU have been very, very proactive in their post plants. They've been, even though the B site is one where normally you kind of struggle to hold on, because if you sit passive and spam, a lot of the time it's a tight choke that you can clear. Not this time. They've been very aggressive and pushing at least one of those extremities. And because of that, this time you see it. Rhyme's just spamming the smoke. He's expecting somebody to be there. So if that's one of the things that Giants have changed, it might become a little bit more difficult now for KRU to make those same sort of plays. The problem though, well, one side of the map has nobody on it. And that's the exact side of the map that KRU are pushing.
Or even paranoying in the tree. They're like, where's the snake bite, guys? I opened the door. It's just not here. Davies got caught, but he's able to see again. Unfortunately, there's players all around him. No way out. Even still, though,
be baffed. Like they've cleared the spawn and all of it and just gone, okay,
corner.
There's literally nobody for miles around.
Did he get timing? Like, where is this guy? But yeah, he's not here. And I guess the idea they killed Hoodie might give it away. Two players coming up, and they've lined up for Klaus. One bullet each. And one return. Fatinho, good for that. Kesnit looking the other way, and he's caught off guard. This has started to fall apart for KRU. A promising round, and now it's left to Malzer and Nagzit to close it out. One away from a Viper's Pit. It won't be used here. Malzer got the first. Nice snake bite. Great support from Nagzit from far back, and that'll lock in a round for KRU.
Yeah, I think ultimately a round that they should have had in the bag a little bit cleaner. But the fact is, I think that Giants were much more expecting them to play a slow game. Like, this is one of the first rounds we've seen them just directly walk towards that A site. And with not seeing any challenge in towards the door, they knew that there was a gap there. The gamble from Giants is they'd have a little bit more time to sort of clear out those lurkers, get in on that flank, and instead they gave up so much map control that once they lost their spawn, I think we kind of knew the round should have been going the way of KRU.
Okay, let's see how this one kicks off. It is that Viper's Pit turned up, previously used on the C side. Alarm bot inside of it as well, so plenty of control for this squad. They don't need to be worried, and Hoodie can avoid being baited into using his snake bites early for once. He'll just fire it off in the back of the alarm bot and probably get a kill. Wisely, KRU have decided to avoid this area, at least for the most part. Davies lurking in case he can maybe pick up one. That was a little dangerous. Klaus got tagged, but the aim went off afterwards. The side of KRU, again, focused on this B site, but more of a defense here than ever from the side of Giants.
Yeah, with the Viper's Pit being able to lock down one side and an aggressive position from Fatinho on the other, it's allowed them to play with the gaps a little bit. Now, dodging this Tiger might be a little bit easier said than done. Never mind. Showstopper just going all the way in. Fatinho having to shoot it off after being blinded, but he has claimed that space. And this is the thing. I think KRU were very set on defaulting back in this direction. He may not have got a kill, but he's bought an awful lot of time. 30 seconds left on the clock as KRU now start moving back in this direction. Support from Rhyme as well ready.
They know what they're looking at here, though. Melzer's got the ult to TP into A. Rhyme's gone down, and now they might not look to the A side anymore. B instead looking a lot more favorable for this squad. Snakebite in and bounced around someone's head, but that one back. Melzer's gonna have to plant in an off spot. Trades on the way through. Good for the side of KRU. They've delayed, they've got the plant down. The man advantage doubled up on the side of Giants. Need to make a decision here and now with a Spectre in the hands of Hoodie. How likely do they feel that this retake is gonna go their way? The economy not looking great either in a save. I don't know that it will even help that much. Maybe if Hoodie can pick up something from his fallen comrades.
Toxins going up.
Well, that also depends on whether or not they're going to be able to hold on to the guns they've got. Nagzet's starting to hunt a little bit. As you mentioned, Hoodie going for that gun. He's spammed all the way down. I don't know if he's getting out of here. Kesnet does not want to allow him to hold on to this weaponry, and in fact, he's got a teammate watching.
It's always
they are
Nagzet.
aware of everything. And this is the thing that I've really enjoyed so far is there have definitely been moments in these rounds where I've gone, okay, this is now an opportunity for Giants to win the round. I think one of the main points in this was where Ryan was. And then instantly, from the back of B, a Paranoia goes all the way through just to clear things out. I think that was Mel's supportive utility. The same in the last round where he had that snake bite just to give him extra support that came out from Nagzet. These guys have had these little pieces of utility that have made a massive difference in the round. Now, 6-3 up, winning 6 of the last 7 rounds as well. Bear in mind, this was a pistol and second round conversion from Giants. They have gone amiss so far.
Yeah, Klaus's utility as well last round. The Seeker identifying where Ryan was for that Paranoia to go through his flash, saving them from a showstopper that would have been devastating. Speaking of, oh, never mind! Okay. Shot out of the sky, and he's going back for more. Nuki is playing a dangerous game. He's decided to concede the site, fall back. And of course, because they've got this lockdown to work with, they're not too worried about losing the seaside itself.
It's whether they want to commit it, and they do.
Yep.
they only have sheriffs on everybody else other than UK. And you know what? I respect it from KRU. They've just gone, you know what? You have denied us the seaside, but we have the weaponry. We have the advantage in this round. Let's fall off.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Giants are expecting KRU to really fall off, go towards the other side of the map, hit A. Instead, they have sat outside C. The timing could have been key, but the Tigers spotted them. So now on the side of Giants, they again know that this is where the contact's likely to come in. What was that? Hoodie's just picked up Klaus for free. That flash now gone, no Paranoia. It was already burned up, and a wallbang shot that puts Nagzet down to 9 HP. That's after he's used his Viper's Pit. He's got to hide for the rest of the round, and hell, so do the rest of his teammates. But the wallbangs coming through are scarily close. Davies has an angle. Maybe an opportunity to pick up Nuki on the cross, drop that rifle. He'll certainly get Hoodie. One more on his way. But Davies doesn't want to be greedy. He knows his teammates inside the pit are the ones that matter. He needs to hold that back angle so they can keep front facing.
Oh.
2 more opponents, one on its way, and he'll miss the first. No ace this time, but no round for the side of Giants. Surely this clock too far gone. Surely! But Nuki has got him through the pit! I thought he could hide, play the time, run around. But a blind shot, thanks to him being 9 HP, finds its mark.
Yeah, no, this is something we see so often from the likes of UK. A round that looks done, it looks over. They came into this one with one man having a rifle and the rest all having pistols, and sometimes that man with a rifle is enough. Managing to just pull off impossible things like a ridiculous final shot to close, and well, the rounds that Giants have pulled off have definitely not necessarily been ones you expect them to repeat, but they'll take a round like that all day long.
A blind shot as well. The first kill that came through on the side of Melzer was onto the guy that was low HP, couldn't correct on time. That's such a devastating way to lose it. A lifeline for the side of Giants on the back of the big round from Nuki. They only had pistols. Now Nuki is the one to fall first, and Hoodie not too far behind him. This is what I was scared of just a few rounds ago. Kesnet's just sheer entry potential. Great Paranoia. It's caught them both, and the reward is there. He might be blinded up, but he's got teammates to cover. And KRU are dominating in round 11.
Oh! That's humiliation. Well, we've had conversations about shooting bodies and tactical crouches after the round. He did it while he was still alive, bounced on his head and finished him off. It's ridiculous stuff from Kesnet, styling on his opponents, and wow, it's back to the B side. They've been doing this round after round after round, be it based on rotations, be it based on late flanks. This time it was a direct take in towards that site, and they have been unstoppable. They're being able to find those opening kills. Another round found for Giants just moments ago, and an instant response again for KRU.
Already, Rhyme has burned up his paranoia. They're getting aggressive on A, taking a lot of control on the defensive side. That's why you see KRU so quick to react on the C site. They want to try and force out this control, grab their orb.
It's an interesting piece of utility to use so early on when you've been in a retake so many times.
Right.
Like that's what I feel like you can do similar things with a flash and a nade, or even just the nade in the early round.
There.
But
Oh, this could be
we'll see.
dangerous.
Maybe this time it'll pay off. I don't know if they're going to go this way now.
Yeah, they know it's a judge as well. They've got utility to clear. Use that paranoia, Melzer. I don't know. He can still see you when he's up close. That's the real danger. But now he's forced out by the util. They heard the teleport. They might be worried about him still being close. But now that that position's given up, he's going to find it a little more difficult to find value with this weapon.
Yeah, similarly to Vitinho in a couple of rounds ago, he bought time. But KRU have not felt any level of discomfort of executing late into these rounds. He is going to be able to hold on in towards tree. The flash somewhat failing over the top, and he's just going to try and hide within this smoke, but the lockdown is going to make things that little bit more awkward. I can tell you for free, he's not going to play any part in this round because the lockdown is just a ruse. Guess where they're going? You'll never guess it. It's that B site again.
Look at him running in this time, though. Kesnet meets his maker. Nukia doesn't last too much longer after, and that plan seems to be coming through. Blastback's denied it! Just about get back on time. Another blastback, and they've won the round! The clock, the ultimate enemy of KRU! As Giants come through with 5 at the last second!
I'm gobsmacked. He might not
That's
have
unreal.
had the best game when it comes to fragging, but that's truly ridiculous.
Oh man, the fact he gets out there, they try to deny him. You see Davies jumping up to take the kill. What a devastating loss. And a few of those rounds that went Giants' way have been just heartbreaking for the side of KRU. This could have been a much more dominant game.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Well, Tom, I have to say, 5 rounds on the board for Giants, considering the pistol round, the follow-up, and the last 2 that we saw them win. You know, the 3v2, low HP on Cloud, retaking through a Viper's pit.
And that was around when they had
ace.
pistols as well, yeah.
And then they start with pistols, and then that final round, Vitinho, 4 kills on the board, but 1 round won with blast packs.
I might be from EMEA, but they are lucky to have 5 rounds.
Absolutely.
But that's the thing, 5 rounds on defense, that's not bad. They'll take it. They now get to go on to the attack, and well, KRU looking like they're playing this one like an attack. The thing is, though, their opponents are waiting for this. They've set a trap, expecting this aggressive pistol, already trading very effectively. A few spams through the walls, waiting for anybody to cross back over. Nagzit's not going to be able to connect the shots, and now, well, the pressure onto Davies. He's had a great first half. This is a lot to ask, though. Yeah, about the result I expected.
Cloud had to heal as well. What a good teammate. So that damage done to Hoodie earlier on is completely ignored. Found Nagzit, hit him with the snake bite to hopefully spam him on the way out, but he'll escape. Oh, okay, nice shot. Vitinho down low, but again, look who's got the heal. Everybody's right back up to a healthy fighting state. And that is why I'm saying Cloud's a good teammate. Not everyone will do that. Certainly not the skies in my ranked, but here's the reward. Oh, even the paranoia just to swing in and decimate Kesnet. Nagzit's the only man standing, and he has a full team of attackers to take on. Just about 40 damage done so far. He's certainly adding to that statistic, but it's not enough. Giants with 2 out of 2 pistols so far.
Yeah, they've needed them, and it's safe to say. It's funny as well, because normally the critique we have of this roster is that Rhyme's normally not able to put up the same level of numbers as the rest of the team, but he's actually been having a pretty decent game on an individual level. It is Vitinho. He's gone quiet after some big series so far, big series to even get them here in LCQ. We're waiting to see that beast truly arise, but I guess being now on that attack side, he's going to be much more of a pivotal focus.
Well, that's it. This is where we should see him entering in, taking that space, and well, very much doing what Kesnet was doing in that first half. As we said, we've seen it before where Vitinho hits his stride and then falls off a little in following games. This season had been a little less of that story, but you step on the international stage, elimination game, that's where the cracks start to show. Nukia spotted a push, a couple of players seen, He's not afraid to take a little pixel angle, spray him down with the Bulldog. They've given it up. And for the side of KRU, I don't think there's a right decision here, really. All they can do is try to maybe grab some orbs. Not easy on this map whatsoever. The A side, pretty much the only place you can do it. And then hope to find some damage as the attackers flood into a site. Oh, they're deciding still whether Kesnet's going to fall back on A, but looks like they'll stick close. Seems to be the right call. Giants drifting to the right side.
It's like, what can you really do with a classic? It's just find a trap play, and for them, this at least allows a slightly faster rotation, trying to use their own utility against them. The thing is, Mel's is going to be left on very low HP, but somehow that's actually worked out. I guess they didn't expect somebody to just sit within the Viper wall.
30 seconds left.
So getting 2 kills from round when you had nothing, now it actually gives a very small chance for Nexet to do something as well. He's in the right place. There's only 20 seconds left. Now, they could get a tiny bit panicky, but they should be watching for anybody to come out on the cross, and there you go. Hoodie will execute one, and Timmy the Turret almost manages to finish off the other. Well, level once again as Giants have converted that second round once more. This is where things got a little bit tougher for them last time out.
Well, that's it, yeah. You can just about see it on your screens there. Round 3, and things took a significant turn into KRU's favor. The second those rifles came out, this is where Giants need to hold strong. Vitinho is going to be coming in with a sheriff in hand. The rest of the squad rocking the rifles, and I think that's a decision on his part. He hasn't been feeling it so far, and we'll see as things progress if he starts to heat back up. No contact, really.
That is the good thing with Giants, is they do have an awful lot of win factors.
Gonna push
UK has a good game. Cloud as well. For now, though, Orb collected over on that attack side. They are starting to aggress. Maybe, again, just setting up a bit of a trap. But you can see that it is watched for, in a sense. UK is just waiting on that lurk. Contact of the turret as well. It would be a huge risk if they were just playing for the orb. I think it's more likely that they're just hoping to try and hold on to some map control and have that easy rotation back as well. Kesnet can definitely cause them issues here. In fact, Cloud, he was still in the Tiger. He may have been blind, but he's been headshotted while using his utility. I don't know if there was slight miscommunication or he just had mass amounts of faith in his teammates.
Either way, it was misplaced. Hoodie low HP, even lower now. It's being tagged up incredibly low. Can't afford to play through that utility. His teammates fragmented, but Vitinho chooses his moment to strike. Stepping up when it matters the most. 3 kills for this man. 1 away from doubling up. His performance in that first half left us wanting more. And now the opportunity, but they're so low. 45 and 47. Mauser can win this with just a few well-placed shots. He's vulnerable on the way through, and it's Vitinho to find it. 4 kills now, pushing him up to 8 on this map. Not just for his kills, but rounds for Giants. They've taken the lead back.
Yeah, what a time for him to come alive. We said it when it came to this attack. This is where he could be the tip of the spear, but a site with 3 players residing within it and him finding all 3 kills, 2 within a matter of seconds. His individual game dragging Giants into the lead, and wow, you've still got that showstopper available for Kesnet, but other than that, not much in this round at all.
The best part about it is there were 9 players in that round who had rifles, and he was the one that didn't. And he comes through with that round. Well, if there was anything to light a fire under him, get him back into the game, I think that was it. We may just have witnessed the activation of Vitinho, the deactivation of Hoodie. Good shot for Mauser in a round like this. That is such a valuable kill to find. This squad now with a man advantage, but weaponry heavily disadvantaged.
It's annoying as well.
Rocket launcher. It's a good showstopper.
It's annoying heading in towards the A site when you don't have your Viper wall as well. Like it leaves a lot of very open angles. Well, a trade of Tigers. Both players not really getting a mass amount of information, but it will be the moment where Giants decide to switch things up. Now, bear in mind that Nagza actually has a fair amount of utility to play with. You normally buy it up in these sort of rounds just in case you're able to use it. He's going to be sat with the Sheriff. He needs that first shot, but now he can delay. Stopping them in their tracks once again. 40 seconds now. It might not look like a low number on the clock, but bear in mind, they have taken no ground. The majority of players still back towards the spawn. Giants, this is getting scary, so much so that they're now going to use the Seekers, but the door, well, it's helping out a little bit.
Slowed them down, not quite enough though. Mauser not able to hit the shot again on the way around. The Marshal falling to the floor. Sheriff's all that's left. Bar again, that showstopper, and here it comes. Kesnet, it's picked out of the sky.
Twice.
Great shot from Nukia, and he doubles up. KRU left with no chance. Just Davies on a Sheriff, 1v3, time ticking away. And they'll see if he can find some exits, perhaps.
So this is a fun thing. We always talk about, when we think of keybinds, we think of Lothar. And I think maybe Nuki actually has a keybind in this one. It's when his opponent activates a showstopper, he activates aimbot. Because it's just twice now that Kesnet has put that into the site, and he's just popped his head the second he's attempted to use it. Absolute filth. And well, now Davies, they're just going to go down to the spike. Nothing really, well, or the nano, no. It'll be the spike to take him out in the end. Giants now starting to claim control of this game. Couple of rounds to the good. KRU even going to take themselves a pause, give Atom a chance to try and talk things through with the team. Because as said, in that first half, they looked pretty good. Like I would say they were the better team by quite a margin. It was explosive individual plays that won Giants the rounds, but now they've had that kickstart with another huge individual play from Fatidio. We are sat here with them 2 in the lead on the favored side of the map, and KRU needing to find something now.
It's probably the most Giants game I've ever seen, actually. Just even looking at their EMEA run. This is really them hitting their stride of how they like to win. 9 rounds on the board. I can think of maybe 4 I'd give to them justifiably. They won both pistols, so that gives them a lead. But there's been some, frankly, BS rounds along the way. And now they hit their stride, start to play clean Valorant on that attack side. It's a big challenge for KRU. And you can see commands being rattled off on both sides.
Well, this is the thing. Like when you accrue and you call a tactical pause.
Look how angry Pipson looks.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you call a tactical pause, you're giving Pipson the full minute to just talk. Like there's not. I don't even think he breathes. I think he's found a way to just hold his breath so that he can talk for the full minute without stopping, and the team listens, takes it in, and it normally comes out with a good side for Giants. So you've given that over on the other side. It might have even just been a moment, though, for KRU to just almost steady that ship a little bit, as this game is very much still within competition.
You can do a side-by-side with Buster Rhymes and see who's hitting the fastest rhythm. And
who's got the quickest flow.
Yeah, Pipson might give him a run for his money. Oh, that nade's perfect. Great damage done onto Rhyme. He's lit down to 76 up close. Mouser good for the first, but traded out afterwards, and Giants coming ahead in this skirmish. Nukia thought he could sneak his way behind Davies, but not today, and that's numbers equalized. Maybe overheating on the flank. The damage done to Klaus, at least he can't heal that back up. They could heal Rhyme as well, but they're not worried about just a couple points of health. Instead, they want to speed it up, get towards the site. Oh, the teleport through. Rhyme trying to take space. He's found the first on Davies and low HP to finish Klaus off. It seems too easy. Viper's Pit online. Do they give Nagsip the respect? Yes, they do.
Not a bad idea. Rhyme already low. It does give him some extra time, though, while they're waiting.
Spike planted.
He's trying to sneak his way around the edge of the pit, hope that somebody gives him an angle, and there's a chance that Rhyme, just on the edge of this, just going to start clearing out the angles, maybe try and bait them in with a spike tap, and he's looking for something, and well, he's found it. Unfortunately, it comes in the form of Rhyme. Again, another big round for him, stepping up individually, currently 15 and 11, as said. It's not normally where you find the IGL on the board, but a round that a bit of a gamble. Again, KRU basically tried to just fight them in the early stages very aggressively in towards that A site rubble, and well, maybe some frustration starting to kick in as this is their map choice. Pile up next. I wouldn't say it's a landslide in the favor of Giants, but definitely a map that they feel comfortable on. And with what is currently on the board in terms of weaponry, ultimates, doesn't really sit in KRU's favor.
No, certainly not. It's not going to boost up that buy all too much, but you got to give KRU some respect when they're on these rifles as well, though, or these weapons, hard to me. Only the one rifle. the Sheriffs can be extremely dangerous in their hands, especially when they've got the numbers, and that's what they're aiming for. Playing retake on A, giving up the space. As Mauser shrouded his steps on the way out of sight. He'll now be able to march back in with the full force of KRU at his back. The wind in his sails. The utility leading the charge. They found Cloud, but at what cost? He's still running around.
Oh, they're actually going to use the lockdown here. Really are just showing that respect over to KRU, making sure that they can burn a lot of time off the clock. Nobody can really opt to challenge this. Maybe a little bit of an overcommittal, if anything. It doesn't seem like there's much that they'll be able to do in this round, but I think for Giants, it's just about making sure that there's no shenanigans here, or a complete off angle for Rhyme, not expected whatsoever. And he's even going to close things out with a little bit more onto Kesnet. 2 rounds away now for Giants from taking this first map. The attack side has been nothing like the first. Squeaky clean with 6 rounds in a row. Lembo's having a great time. And well, for KRU, it's a second timeout in the space of a couple of rounds. They are almost just trying to stem the bleeding at this point.
Yeah, this timeout, it's got to be frustrating because, again, looking back at how things have gone for them so far, I can't even fault them. Even, again, going back to that 3 versus 2, Vipers pit up, plant down, time relatively good. And Davies right about to grab an ace. And it's 1 missed kill. That player then has the opportunity, it was Nukia, to run back into the round, clean out the Viper's pit, take down the Viper with a 1-shot spam through the smoke. No iota of where he was, just whether it's luck, whether it's skill, whatever you want to call it, it's put rounds on the board for their opponents, and I can't fault them.
I've seen him do it 40 times. It's not. It's definitely not luck. It's something. I don't know what it is, but
Nukia factor.
Yeah, he's done it for multiple years now. I definitely can't call it luck anymore. He's even got his own sign in the crowd, and I don't blame him. So we love Nukia in this house. But here we go.
Play. Good question.
Oh, you know.
Be a while.
Hey,
well,
Sem might need some players.
11-7. 4-round lead for the side of Giants, standing tall on map number 1. Pearl up next, and remember, that is their pick. KRU on home turf right now, and they're being challenged. We'll see what Giants' answer to this timeout is. They've got a showstopper, but other than that, KRU leaning with a favor. Seekers and Lockdown to work with late on into the round. And no op for either side.
I wonder if this is just going to be a contact play off the showstopper. Like they're all building up outside. Paranoia straight through.
Not even.
Oh, Patino's not even going to use it. Taking a lot of damage. Timmy doing his best to chip away at some of these players. Cloud already just looking to try and deny any of this deep control and potential for some spam. The nade is perfectly placed as well. Maybe they will hope to use that showstopper after this one, because now it's going to be a scramble to try and reclaim the spike. In fact, no opportunity for it. And now is when the showstopper goes through. I don't know how that didn't do more damage, but nonetheless, it's left all onto Hoodie. He's trapped, somewhat screwed at the back of this site, and no matter how much damage he does, he's not surviving this one.
Beautiful response from the side of KRU. Every step of the way, the Seekers going out, find out exactly where Fatino is. They send in the stuns. They start trying to force him out of the corner, and he can't move at that point. He's stuck. The reason he pops his showstopper, and I like the fact they didn't do it at the start. I think expecting KRU to play super passive once they saw contact, expecting a showstopper. So they get the space for free, and he wanted it here to take down the lockdown, to grab space. Got surprised by a quick swing out of Klaus, and just couldn't react on time. You saw him even fire it into the wall beside him instead of actually getting that distance down towards Klaus. Unreal stuff for the side of KRU. Coming out of that pause, that couldn't have went any better.
Viper's pit. Don't know what the contact was, but whatever it is, Magzet has got this perfect. All orbs being collected. It's for the Seekers once again on Cloud. Probably the closest of any ult by quite a margin. And again, they're expecting some level of aggression. Now, there has been a push-up from Melzer, but this has been a regular occurrence, mostly just for information. He normally falls back quite quickly once that's been garnered, although with the flash is being traded, Or being tapped. I wonder if there's going to be some support sent over for Klaus in a moment, because right now he's alone.
Yeah, so this was definitely a panic play from Nagzit because they ended up having Davies out of rotation for ages, trying to put down his turret. The start of the round, they didn't plan to do that. Probably would have went for the alarm bot, but at least they would have had that utility there from start. It's delayed them, but that timing wasn't taken advantage of, and now Giants look to burst out on A. There's players waiting, a showstopper online to catch his hoodie. They still have Melzer up close, ready to fire off, but Giants are leaving.
Look where Rhyme is. He TP'd all the way into the back, just almost trying to make some sort of TikTok plays on his own. He's going to get caught. Didn't expect Klaus to be so close. And now with seconds left on the clock, they have to go running. Look at where the spike is. It has to be a full sprint. Even then,
left.
I don't know if they're going to have enough time, especially with this retake already being attempted. It has to be an instant plan. He's got it if nobody manages to deny. Just about with 0.4 on the clock, they get the plan, and that might be enough. Somehow it's come down to just Melzer left alone, and Vitinho will put him in the grave. This was a scramble from Giants, but somehow it's worked for them.
Unbelievable. Just a fraction of a second, even allowing them to get that plan down, and that's why
They were gonna go
are
A.
rushing in. They're blitzing it back into the site. And they're fragmented, of course, because they're attempting to interrupt the plan to win the round, guaranteed. Just lay down your life for it.
Corner. It's not even towards the
That's
support.
ridiculous.
That's such a confident play, but I believe he was actually trying to open the door to get the rotation of his teammates into the A site.
Yeah.
He dies, and they go, I guess we go B.
Quickly, quickly.
0.4. That's what it was on the clock.
That's ridiculous. 0.4 of a second. They knew their rotation timings then.
Imagine if he bumped the wall or something.
If he went for a plan slightly more shallow, I think there was even going to be a nano there for him. Like, incredible. And they would have seen him from the elbow. Nagzit's under pressure. They'll make it around because he's got cover. Kesnit came in to save the day. Now they'll retake that control quickly. Goes the boom bot. It spotted them close. Judge trying to close the distance, catch any stragglers on the way through, or anybody re-peeking this area. And he's caught one of each. Well handled for Nagzit, and KRU stay alive. 3 more needed to push us up to an overtime.
Yeah, he's been causing a nuisance over the last couple of rounds. He might not be up there in terms of the fragging department, but we've seen that throughout the game, be it him catching off rotations or even just staying alive a little bit longer than he should have done. The last couple of rounds, it's been one of the major issues. Again, though, the back and forth isn't going to be enough. We've seen no streak of rounds from KRU throughout this second half. And they need to win themselves 3 in a row, and with Giants breaking back every single time, this is a problem again. That paranoia through Vitinho has found the gap within the corner, but it is checked for. They are clearing that angle this time. Cloud, though, has done well surviving. He's blind and still spraying away, but it's Kesnit to massacre them on the entrance to A. Finally, KRU managed 2 in a row.
Kind of unreal if you look at that. Melzer was a player who had a judge, and he was up on top of Rubble. He might have even got a kill if the nade hadn't been so on point from Kesnit just moments ago, but that spray, what a recovery on an otherwise lost round. If Kesnit goes down in any of those fights, his teammates have to trade, and it comes down to the wire. Somewhere the Giants have been surviving again and again. But a lifeline for KRU, 2 more.
Take in everything. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for Giants. They need just 1 round of the last 2. KRU starting to come back again. It's been similar halves of feeling dominant on that attacking side, and a few rounds ground out by the opposing team. A lockdown available for Nuke as well to potentially take some space into the site, because over the last few rounds, that's been the problem. And once they get into the after plants, it's been pretty decent, but it's either come down to the wire or denied completely.
Same thing for KRU. Melzer up on top of Rubble.
Kez is on the other side this time, though.
They've still got that wall down. Your B site might be needed. Giants firing off their lockdown, certainly telling their opponents they want to take this to B. And they certainly do. Straight in towards the site is Vitinho. He's being tagged up and space taken for sure. Can he hold on to it, though? There's players coming up behind him, and he's not ready, but he still makes it around the corner in time. The flash from Klaus. Okay, sure, he's gone down, but the teammates flooding the site caused some problems for KRU. Nukia's double leaves it on Klaus to try and claim space, and he gets nothing but a bullet to the head. Mauser, the last man standing, began this round on rubble. And it's crumbled for KRU ever since. Can he find 4 kills, a defuse, so it's time limited. And buy time for KRU to push this to overtime. Their map pick. It's not been going well, and it'll end in the same fashion. Nukia's triple for 13 to...
Going to be something that is going to be difficult to deal with. He makes a very good A-site anchor. As said, though, this is a composition on the other side for KRU that's not really run too much within EMEA. So we'll see how they're going to be able to cope with that, if they're going to be ready for what will be a lot of those Melsa walls sectioning off angles. And for now, at least, they're going to have that aggressive push directly through Art. They're pushing, well, I want to say into the trap, but actually, Nukia's utility is not placed here at all.
Yeah, this is the one avenue that's wide open for the taking. Giants evidently suspecting more of the play towards the doors, wanting the support of flashes. And instead, they're going to have a tougher time from actually keeping these players back. You see down in the pit, you've got Nukia almost isolated at this point while the rest of the team makes its way around. And yeah, he's going to be taken down once they decide to aggress for that spot.
Yeah, that is the thing with these sort of compositions. There's only so many places you can actually put your utility. I'm sure KRU have done their research of how best to try and isolate this man. Hoodie, though, has already done well, but it's Kesnet just taken over. We talk about this man as a superstar. He's not quite going to close it with the ace. And in fact, Rhyme now somehow fighting back into this one. Time up against him, and the nanos are going to shred his HP. Makes the chances of this slim to almost impossible. He has to just stick this one all the way, and Nags is not going to allow for it. It's KRU to get things off to a flying start, and after losing both pistols in the last map, they'll be happy to have this one.
Oh, definitely, yeah. At the end of the day, with how close we ended up, 13 to 10, you take a pistol round away from Giants, and it's a different game that we're playing in that previous map. Valuable to get off to a good start, but more importantly for Kesnet, 2 away from Bladestorm and feeling on cloud 9 right now. This is fantastic. The second round won't even see any investment from Giants, so we should see KRU off to a flying start, maybe even Bladestorm online for round 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. With this sort of purchase, you might be thinking, oh, Kesnet has to be a little bit careful, but in fact...
give it to him.
No, come on. Kesnet getting 1 kill. He either gets 2 kills or he gets 1 kill and dies. That's how this round's going to go. And then someone else will pick up the rifle. That's why Davies hasn't bought a rifle, because he knows that one's going on the ground.
One's getting dropped when the blade.
And if it's not, then he'll probably, after the 2 kills, Kesnet will give it to him. Now, on the other side of things, well, they fully went towards Art last round, so Giants have decided, let's stack Art. 4 players here.
This flash contact is so important. There it is, first player spotted. Now there's the flash, but the response from KRU, they stand strong. Not a single player falling to that trap play from Giants. And it's again Nukia isolated, this time because the rest of his teammates are waiting for the next round. Just a classic in hand.
Mels is going to be 1 away as well now. So that they have nailed it when it comes to the ults. Other than Nagza getting that kill, doesn't really help them too much in the grand scale of things. But now they can make the choice of how they want to fight for the orbs in the next round. They can either go and get themselves the Reckoning and have Kesnet as that entry. Maybe even they could invest into a rifle now onto Davies, which is exactly what they do, because you've got Bladestorm guaranteed for the next round. So I don't mind the idea. In fact, I love it from Giants. Like having a little contact play, you've got no weaponry to play with, just try and get some damage done. Unfortunately for them, they did do damage just on lots of different players.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was distributed a bit too evenly. Now for KRU, look at this, 3rd round, bonus round, by the way. Rifles all around, Bladestorm can come online. This is going to be a little bit ridiculous for the side of Giants. They have back-to-back buys to beat. And yeah, the Reckoning, I assume it's going to be used, having taken that orb. Look for the B site to be cleared out completely, make it very difficult for Nukia to do anything in the way of fighting this squad back. They do seem a bit hesitant, though. I think expecting some counter utility from Giants.
I think it's just a bit too quiet. That's all it is. Drone is going to spot a fair bit of information. Instantly becomes more of a retake setup. Although if the Reckoning does go through, Nukia is going to be somewhat trapped at the back of the site. You could see all of his utility. I think they're trying to find where the different trips will be. And with the patient positioning of Davies, they could still swap this back. The thing is, though, the time is starting to tick. So I think they're just going to hide here and hope that somebody gets a little bit greedy on the other side.
Yeah, when that doesn't happen, 35 seconds or so, Davies trying to fake it out, drag rotations, and then the ult will come through. There it is, the Reckoning in play.
30 seconds left.
What's the decision from these players? It looks like Nuki is just going to be dancing around, but he's been stunned up now. And that's going to be difficult for him to really find a spot. Hold on, he's got a corner now where he's safe. He's evaded their vision, and oh no, Klaus! Lightning fast reactions to drop him, but 12 seconds, and they need to get the plant in. Nagzit is on it, and nobody can deny by the looks of things that plant is secured. KRU have lost the man advantage, though. Given over to Giants and all the chaos, doubled up on with Davies falling, and both players now in towards B Hall. Kesnet and Nagzit clutching it out with no utility from the Viper and no teammates to help out. A huge play needed from Nagzit, and not today. Giants will get on the board.
Yeah, I like it from Giants. Very patient in the way that they played this round. Nuki sort of dancing around the utility. I did like the fact that KRU basically, they put snake bites in alongside the Reckoning to just make things that little bit more awkward for him. But it is just this utility combo. Like, you have the factor of the cams, the trips, but also then the darts. And that's something that I think I've really enjoyed seeing Sova on this map more recently. It's just with all of these screens, all this util to section off control, having that Sova dart or the Sova drone is so impactful for just catching someone on the cross. We saw even damage done to Kesnet in the early stages of the round by just an effective cam. And that seems to be the whole idea with Giants on this defensive side. Have these little trap plays, have these ideas that get them information and free kills without actually having to take mass risks.
Here.
Round 4, as we said, not a problem for KRU. The Bladestorm certainly helping bolster out the buy, having invested into one rifle previously. And now they're stacked up, ready to fight. Orbs being contested for, being seized towards A, and that gets Giants a little curious here in all these updrafts. They've spotted a few players, but that's all part of the plan. That's why KRU have left Nagzit and Davies holding down control across the map. So they're intending to rotate, hopefully selling that fake yet again or allowing Davies to thread the needle later on.
It's very patient. After the early control. I think KRU have been fantastic with their orb management throughout the series on their attack side especially. Now though, again, they go back to art. This is where they had their success in the pistol round. Information not really had, but Hoodie is watching. He'll spot Kesnet, but dealing with him is a different beast.
It made it look like they were rotating B. Fatinho not here to have the initial fight at least. Hoodie isolated. That wall will go down soon. Fatinho's chance to answer up, but he goes through it and is dropped immediately. Even without the Bladestorm, Kesnet proves to be deadly. And it's Nuki and Cloud now on a near impossible retake. So many opponents up against them. They've got a buddy system. There's the swing out from Nagzit after the initial contact. Really well handled. And KRU make that one look easy.
Yeah, I think now that has to be something adapted by Giants. Art control is not something they've really fought for, and it's something that a lot of the time your contact comes off your killjoy. That's where you have a lot of that information had, be it use of a turret, or even just having a lot of mid control and then having somebody actually watching towards art instead. Because of that, they've been leaving it open and playing a very passive hold, and that's just too much space for KRU. Like, the only thing that could have gone a little bit wrong for them in that round was Melsa pushing a bit further forward with the spike, but that was the plan. That wasn't just him. Like, Klaus went forward as well. Kesnet was fighting forward. They clearly have a plan as a team, and because of that, they haven't been able to deal with it on the other side. Operator now in for Fatinho. It's left Rhyme just on a pistol, though, and timing just about works out for him there. He could have been dead within a second. Instead, instant util usage just to hold them back.
Some information will be stolen, you would think, but Rhyme still has the angle. Able to comfortably clear that no one has pushed up, no one's taken the space. Why would they do that? Why would they put utility in? Oh, yeah, exactly. Just in case they're hiding back, selling another fake rotation. But this time, it's deemed to be a real threat. Seems the B side is on.
Oh, wow.
Well, they're really making sure. I'm not surprised after what happened in the previous round. They want to be 100% certain that this is, in fact, a B hit, and now they know, without a shadow of a doubt.
Players. This is a big rotation from Giants. getting everybody into position. And with 35 seconds left, there's not really time to switch things back up. Caught by Nuke's trips again. And it's going very well for Giants on the hold. Walking into that Cypher setup has been an utter nightmare, but all the util and ults used by Giants just to get them this information. What can Davies even do here? I think the best point of call is just hold on to the gun. And you look at the finances, it's not bad, but just want to make sure that they have everything for the next round.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. Melzer's going to need a drop. Giants, though, getting out scot-free, no damage whatsoever. That's maybe a little bit too much, but there's nothing that can be done about it at this stage. Sort of a wide swing out of one of those players, and they want their weapons. They want their economy to be built up. Beautiful stuff, and yeah, I saw 2 players pass the harbor wall already. You start to think at that point they most certainly want to compete. They want to fight for that control on the side of Giants, and I think the numbers just caught KRU off guard. Yeah,
and to get a Prime Gaming flawless as well, when you only have yourself that pistol onto Rhyme, it's huge. And he was actually one of the most pivotal players. Basically utilizing him as an extra recon almost, just sending him to fight when he didn't have a lot to lose. It does seem, though, that if KRU can figure out where Nuke is holding, avoiding his setup is the right plan. Like, getting away from wherever he is. The difference is, though, much heavier arc control. And in that space, they placed Vitinho a solid flash to help him out with that opener, and losing Melzer, that's rough. That's such a hard take now without having that Harbor util.
Yeah, they've lost almost everything. You can see Nagsit, your other controller, trying to make his way down towards B. Has managed to sneak himself into a spot, but they know they've given up that control. You can see Nukia quite conscious of it, and there you go. Even more so with the camera spotting him. Here comes the drone just to confirm. Only 1 player spotted. Steps now heard, making their way down from the connector. About to emerge. Cloud's got a spot that's been spotted, indeed. They know exactly where Rhyme is, and they found Nukia. All the information to play with, but dealing with them's a different story. They've just seen Giants step it up, win every single duel, and leave Davies in a 1v4. 35 seconds on the clock, Spike in his back pocket, but no way forward. 2 players already primed and posted to swing. Oh, okay, Vitinho goes down, but there's the double after.
Do they get the operator back? That could actually be a pretty expensive loss. There they will. It's gone.
No, they.
Yeah, he had to buy it back up.
Considering
it was up in heaven, so I don't think anybody was able to get up there in time. Everybody else was on the site, so yeah, I think they just gave up, realizing that they wouldn't get it. So it's at least something. He's going to buy it straight back up anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I do feel like KRU are now starting to struggle. Just the information game. Like it's what was said on the desk by Sean, that this composition is actually quite exciting for Giants, because they basically just play against the strength of KRU's comp, like being able to deny them that info with everything that they have. Instead, they're just droning, splashing, sending those darts through. And again, I think combining that with Nuke's hold, it means they can't really sneak anyway. Now, though, they could walk. It's the 2nd round in a row. They've gone straight into that util. And I think Giants, after having a couple of rounds struggling to hold on to Art, they're so much more proactive on it now that I just don't feel like KRU are going to have the same level of success there.
Even Davies thinks that he's sneaking up, but again, this is control that has been given up, that has been conceded. Nuki is holding the way back out, just in case anyone does make it all the way down here. Even on an off angle as well. Oh, but oh no, he made a step. They know that he's here. They're watching the angle. Now he's running away. Oh no, KRU slipping up behind. They've just seen him round the corner. Davies moves towards the B side. That gets Nuki running back, and Kesna catches. KRU can go anywhere. The world is their oyster, and it's towards the B side. Only Cloud standing in wait. Okay, he'll get the first. Cloudburst lets him by so it's the bar. Cloud with 3. That might be the round.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
Oh,
they've even got him in a grab well, but the rifle will be collected.
Not planted in the pit now, is it?
It's going to be outside, but he might still opt to play into it. Try and find himself a kill. Timing going to be everything. He's walked into Rhyme. Took a bit of a risk fighting into the pit, but it won't matter. And while, let's be honest, we know who the hero of the round is. It's not Rhyme, it's Cloud. That is just ridiculous what he was able to do. Predict the movements of his opponent. Well, this is why we sort of hyped this guy up so much within EMEA. 4-3 solid defensive start now for Giants as they've turned this around. And that's the thing. I feel like, although, like, you look at the scoreboard, Nukia's at the bottom, he's definitely had incredible amounts of impact, but you would just have to talk about how cursed that was. Like, the sort of timing for him to walk away, even had the thought in the back of his mind. And KRU's ideas were fantastic, like sending Davies the other way, taking the shot to bait Nuke back into rotating around. It couldn't have gone better for them in the early round. Unfortunately, Cloud exists.
That's it. You do absolutely everything right. Now ask yourself the question, was that a round KRU were supposed to win coming in? No, this is the one. They called a timeout, though, because that is a devastating way to lose it. The fact that it was Kesnet's Cloudburst as well that allowed for Cloud to have that space to dance around, taking fight after fight. He sees the tracers coming through the Cloudburst and fires back in with precision as well. Unreal. And, you know, we saw it on the previous map. We said it there. Giants just seem to be the best team that I've seen at winning these ridiculous rounds. Rounds where you will count them out 10 times out of 10. And yet they always fight back into it. I thought at best Cloud gets one there. The fact that he gets even two is ridiculous.
They signed some of the most BS players in EMEA. Like, let's be honest. Like, Nuke has been the king of that for I don't even know how long. Like, like he will always have some of the greatest clutches in history.
Having a rough start.
Hey, the thing is, though, again, it's the same as the last map where you look at stats and it doesn't tell you the full story.
Yeah.
His YouTube, like, a lot of the time, he's just sat in a cam. Like, he's not going to get kills sat in a cam. And, you know, I've heard it said that it can do 5 damage, but I think that might be a slight mistake. But no, it's one of those things where he is playing the rat role.
For sure. Question really around Cypher so far, though, has the utility brought them a lot of value?
Definitely.
It has in moments. The amount of space on Art and mid, though, that KRU have been able to garner is slightly ridiculous.
Oh, look at where his util is.
Exactly. That's the response. And no longer playing it on the sites to try and catch them with trap plays and get kills. Instead, it's about securing map control. And I think this adjustment is very much what I wanted to see coming into this round.
Yeah, I will say, though, like, even his cam alone, in my eyes, has done more than enough. Like, the amount they've garnered when it comes to these B-site hits, it's just been unstoppable. The amount of assists and free kills he's got on the team has been great. Now, though, again, early default round from KRU, but they're only just starting to put that pressure in onto mid. You've got much more control held. The operator, again, Fatinho's been in a different spot every single round. Like, he entried on A, he entried deep within the A site onto Art. Now he's on the cross. He has been spotted, though. Does he go back for this? He does. He waits for the supportive utility. Then it comes in Dreads. Then again, the swing back, but he pops the Blade Storm. See you later, Kesnet.
Even under pressure, he's able to deliver now. This is the Fatinho we wanted to see kicking off today's game, kicking off this tournament.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds, the plant needed. On the way through, Davies might catch one, but Nuke is too quick, and they know exactly where Nags it is. Whether it was the bullets or the blades, he was going down, and Giants step up to a 2-round lead.
I love that. It's just the sort of control that they have there from Giants is you have the contact. Fatinho doesn't need to take a massive risk. He doesn't need to because they have that supportive utility. Gravwell pulls in Klaus, and then he's just there. This is where the individual brilliance comes out of Fatinho. Just pops himself that Blade Storm, puts down the major threat of Kesnet, who is still up there, 8 and 6 on the board. But now 4 rounds in a row on the defensive side for Giants. They're looking very good indeed. Blade Storm available once again, this time on the attack, and a lockdown alongside it, but it's almost a game of sort of cat and mouse, as there is a Hunter's Fury ready for Cloud.
Ooh. Blade Storm attempt, you'll love to see it. No reward for the first 1-up draft left to try that somewhere else a little later into the round. Kesnet, ever dangerous with this Blade Storm, but you've got to be cautious on clearing a lot of these angles just because of how annoying Fatinho has been in these early fights. That's 2 players spotted on mid. The flash, not likely to get too much, blinding up the Tiger a moment, delaying its progress. They haven't spotted Rhyme. That's something. Fatinho looking the other way on A main. The Blade Storm gets an opportunity to step forward, force a fight, and up and in he goes! There's one for Kesnet, but he can't react in time as Fatinho drops him. And another kill for the side of Giants leaves Malzer and Davies to do it all. hoping that maybe this Reckoning can make it too difficult for Vitinho to find a shot, and that seems to hold true. But Bladestorm, or Hunter's Fury, has come through. It's trying to find Melzer. It's getting close, but he's evaded it.
They're going to use the lockdown. This is KRU expending almost everything in a round where one of their players is just on 30 HP, desperately trying to get themselves into an afterplant scenario. And now realizing that the site will be as safe as it can be. The thing is, though, the advantage still massively in the favor of Giants as they head into this retake.
They should have this on lockdown. Trading on the way through. It's Cloud that's going alone, has a recon for late round as they posture up to move on through. But Nukia's been isolated. A great peek from Davies, the timing near perfect. He's heard Cloud as well. Has a good idea that he's coming from this angle. The recon not going to find Davies. Actually, it will. And so will Vitinho, but Melzer's behind. It's a whiff! Now they're defusing it, and Melzer has to rush in, has to deny this up close, and Cloud will claim the fight. That could have been everything for the side of KRU, and instead, the lead extends yet again in Giants' favor.
Yeah, it's just unlucky. Like that they line up for him, and instead of at least taking down one and turning it into a clutchable position, he hits both of them low. Just a little bit cursed, if anything, from Melzer. Vitinho, ever since he's had this operator in hand, he has been a massive threat. Him and Cloud leading the way for Giants. 6 rounds, half already in their hands, and it's sort of similar to what we saw in the last map. The first half for Giants, well, the fact is this could be an incredibly dominant half if it wasn't for the pistol and second round loss. They have definitely been on point. That's the first time that Vitinho has actually gone down off the opening fight. He's been winning it every time with the operator.
A huge scalp to claim for the side of KRU, and even more so, getting that operator into the hands of a man like Kesnet. Now KRU pose a pretty significant threat to Giants in every corner they round. And this is a round where they didn't have a lot to work with already. A promising start. 1 minute and 7 seconds on the clock, and KRU can take this anywhere. I mean, they're all grouped up on mid, so it's an equal risk, but it looks like Kesnet's going to be going back out for more, just about missing these players. The swing's coming through a little lower than he was expecting, and Nukia's able to win it back.
Oh, in fact, he goes in for a little bit more. Wants to try and do as much damage as he can. Actually, it almost goes very badly wrong. Rhyme trying to pounce. Now KRU, they've picked up weapons. This definitely had some vulnerabilities at the beginning of the round. The fact is now it's into a 3 versus 3, pushing off the back of the Tiger. You can see the Cosmic Divide utilized to try and section off aim. Fortunately, there's only one player actually sat from that angle. The rest are waiting on art. There's even a late alarm bot. Cloud thought he might have had the drop on them, but not today.
Yeah, luckily Davies was staying in range that whole time. But with Klaus down, the pressure is certainly on. Melzer, operator, having to walk through the wall. It's about to fade. Davies up close, spotted and taken down. It's all on the up, and the shot is missed. He needs to find this diffuser. In his mind, they're already diffusing, and there's barely any time left. That's a whiff shot, and Hoodie applies the pressure with every second remaining. That stick was in from Rhyme, and 7 now on the board for Giants. A lot of these rounds have been close, Tom. Even that one where they have next to nothing starting it out, bar the one rifle. But somehow KRU not able to close out any of these close affairs.
Yeah, it's been 4 diffuses in a row for the side of Giants. They've definitely been in on these retakes in close scenarios. And unfortunately, a lot of these fights at Davies there, you kind of expect him to win. Melzer, I think one of those kills might have even been saved by a cabbage. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter for the side of Giants. 7 and 3 in the lead. Their players are looking in form. And now they're going to try and go back towards this B site. Set up, ready is Vitinho. As I said, I think he's lost one of these opening duels, and well, he'll miss another one, but he has left Cloud behind. Now, they saw him up on that spot. The thing is, though, KRU, well, I think almost luckily, they're going to go fading away. The early duel not going in their favor. They sell that idea in the minds of Giants. There's 3 players currently on that side of the map, but guess whose setup is on A? That's why Giants are so confident.
Tiger through mid, spotted Davies. It's not a ton of information. Lurking Killjoy, even if they were still going for B, is certainly a possibility, even a probability as well. Nobody spotted mid. Now, at this point, yeah, I like this. The shift over from Rhyme. He's now watching that double door potentially. It's freeing up Hoodie to go on the rotate, which he's going to do. He'll be ready for this retake, but the decision is made to retake. Remember that early pistol round, Nuki got caught in this corner. He won't have that happen again.
No, also Reckoning. It just reveals his position, stuns him up. He can't even sit within any of the util that he has. It's just not worth it. If he can get a kill, Neural Theft available to reveal the rest. Instead, they actually go swinging out, and it's just a shutdown. Luckily for them, they have someone as good as Kesnit to make this round look competitive once again. A push coming through from Art as well. They have to be careful about it. Even know that he's there, but knowing and stopping him is another thing altogether. Nuke left alone. He'll put down the first. Somehow turning this back into a 1 versus 1. Davies util will buy him the extra time that he needs. Surely at this point, the clock is too far gone, and he will find the kill anyway. A clutch round going the way of KRU as they'll get up to 4.
Great decision-making from Kesnit as well, just overwhelming Rhyme as he was on the rotate back through. That dash certainly got him by surprise.
The thing is, he would have known he's there because he was getting pinged up by the dart.
See, that's the thing, though. The ping came in as Rhyme was getting his weapon out. So, like, he did react to it, but he saw him ping on sight, thought, oh, there's no one here, I'm good. And then here's the dash, puts 2 and 2 together a little bit too late. And you give Kesnit that millisecond advantage in an aim duel, you're not winning the aim duel. 7-4, 1 round left to compete for, and KRU, look, it's definitely not too far gone yet. Building up rounds on that attack side. We'll see if they can find a 5th.
Wouldn't be ideal, but definitely would be workable, especially with the changes that have come into this map, although I say a lot of those changes kind of help out when you're running a more normal controller. It doesn't help you as much, but you could use the poison orb for the same sort of cross to be held. Even still, though, if Giants get up to 8 rounds on this defensive side, we'll definitely be singing their praises. They've looked very good thus far, especially considering the pistol loss. And KRU have to actually try and get this 5th round onto the board. Vitinho has been shut down a little bit over the last couple of rounds, but he's still going to hold the control, more importantly.
Steadfast with that up. And they've spotted the control that's being lost. They know there's players coming up through that double door. Nice kill on the Davies, the lurker, and now we look towards the B side itself. Cloud's already been deleted. Nuke ready for someone up top, but they came down below, rushing it through. Grabbing a plant. The advantage now seems to be theirs. With this plant, Kesnit gets Blade Storm too. And he wants to use it immediately. Popped Klaus up close, and he runs into the operator. Now things get dangerous. A Blade Storm on each side, but Kesnit has 2 targets to take down, and one of them is Vitinho, who has been on fire. This is a weird position, though, for the plant spot. This could catch them off guard.
Oh, maybe not. No, they're going to be smoking it off. But the thing is, this could actually help him out, because he's going to sit here. They're going to witness the plant for long. And I don't know if they'll check this late. No, it's being checked by Rhyme, holding it for at least a second. But in this 1 versus 2, they're going to start running out of places to check. Still, though, Kesnit lands the first and second. Of course he does. All Reliable does it again as KRU will garner a 5th.
Now that's the half we wanted. Giants looking strong, picking up a lot of rounds, but KRU get that response right at the last second. A beautiful display from this squad, and a Red Bull clutch to close it out. That's certainly going to put the wind in your sails. So smartly played as well. Every second of this from Kesnit calculated. He believed they wouldn't stick it on the initial run, and he was right to. Pros don't fake. And like you see there, we got Lembo and Tyler down in the crowd reacting to that last round. And I believe will even be already, he's holding true to that. More than double the kills from the next man on his team. I'd say that's a pretty good performance.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I think he's going to have to go above 30 if they're going to be able to take this one over the line. But the thing is, he's going to go on to that defensive side. And although we didn't see much from them last time out versus Paperex, his defensive side operator when it came online, just him on the defensive side in general, was something to fear and something that I'm sure Giants will have considered. Already, just look at where KRU are going. They never just sit back when it comes to their pistols. They're constantly looking to fight. The fact is, though, Giants are not. They're sat there watching for any sort of aggression, for any of these plays to come through, a good read on what their opponents are attempting, and now nothing has been seen. They're going to start doubling back towards this B site, which is exactly where Davies has his full setup.
That's spotted. Davies now has a decision to make. Giving up the control. Turret has been destroyed. Alarm bot, though, still covering the close cross, but he's called for reinforcements. And those reinforcements are coming through. The spawn crew, though, will be running right into the full force of Giants as they look to rotate. Firing squad waiting. That's evidently caught Giants by surprise. The flash a little late, followed up on Fatinho. Able to grab one, but they're blinded in return. It's a skirmish for the spawn. And it looks like Giants might win it, but Naxit has other ideas. Already with 3, and there's his 4th. KRU stands strong on the shoulders of Naxit.
Yeah, he's someone who in the past for this roster has come under fire, but definitely stepping up when it comes to this round and even going straight in for the rifle. A huge pistol round for KRU. It's almost the reverse of the last map. Like, the buy rounds were mostly going the way of KRU in that first half of map 1, unable to take the pistols. Now they've taken both pistols and look to try and recreate what Giants did in that second half of Lotus. A chance to take us to split, which I'm going to be honest, I think everybody in this room would like to see. But here we go, though. Attack side is going to just be Cloud investing into a Sheriff. Let's see if he can make it costly.
Now let's see what damage can be done. The Marshal on Kesnet already firing off. Nuke has been left down to 24. Somehow the Classic wins that fight. Damage done again. It should be followed up on a little bit later, but we don't want to see too many more weapons dropped for the side of KRU. Nice clean round from this point forward would be ideal. Giants want to take it elsewhere. The Bulldog on Hoodie leads the charge towards the B site, and it is once again Davies stood waiting for this charge to come through, and he will give up a lot of this control. You don't want to be overwhelmed by the pistols, especially now as you suspect they'll have a better weapon. I hope he doesn't go through this smoke.
Yeah, it's an awkward smoke to fight through. In fact, it's left a massive gap up top.
Spike down.
Somewhat a one-way for the lower, but definitely doesn't do the same when it comes to above. Giving Kesnet an angle is never a great idea. There's already a couple of players lower. Plant, hey, it wouldn't be bad. An extra few credits. A long spot being taken as well. It leaves Nuke, and hey, he gets an extra one. 2 kills, a plant, not bad for Giants, but I don't think KRU are going to be too upset with that one.
No, they certainly won't. At the end of the day, 3 players alive, it's a bare minimum for this kind of round. Got a decent chance to fight back into the next one as well. That's KRU equalizing the scoreline now, 7-7, with both pistols under their belt. Again, similar to the previous map, when we swapped over half, it had been one team leading in the rifle rounds, and then it swapped hands. I think the difference here is that KRU chose to start out on that attack side. So how much can we expect from their defense? And will Giants be able to find that value? And someone like Fatinho, who had some great opening duels earlier, he needs to repeat that here on the attack.
But that's the thing, he really does take contact with a lot of these rounds. You'll see him dashing into the side, leading the way. Oh, Rhymes, got to be a little bit careful here. An early shutdown of B long, something expected to be challenged. A lot of utility set up over on this B side of the map. And bear in mind, this purchase is only just the pistols alongside the weapons they had before. It leaves them in quite a bit of trouble to actually hold on to this site, and with Fatinho already kicking things off. Not a bad start to the round.
Said it needs to be good on opening duels, and well, there's the first at least. Has been tagged up, as well as some of his teammates, and the rifles are still to have their say in this round on the side of KRU. Wallbank's not quite landing. Fatinho on another, and now he's got the support of Hoodie. Going to be much more willing to swing through and help him. Damage done, Davies down. Kesnet tagged through the wall, and it looks like Fatinho was on for the ace. Kesnet on the other side to shut him out. But still 3 opponents left to take down, and it's too much to ask. 8 rounds, Giants retake the lead, but the first big full buy for the side of KRU is yet to come.
I feel like I'm being teased throughout this game. The amount of 4Ks we're seeing with no aces to close it out. It looks like it's set up every single time, but yeah, this is what we come to expect from Fatinho on this map. He is so happy to almost just dive in first, take those fights, and well, you might not be able to rely on him to do that every single round. You can maybe expect it once or twice throughout this matchup. Bladestorm already online for either side, and the Operator, as said, it was a huge part of the defensive rounds that KRU managed to take versus Paper X. It was Paper X, very different beast in terms of their composition, but He has been flying high so far in this matchup, and expectations are that he's not going to be stopping anytime soon.
KRU's buy round with Kesnet on the operator. That's where things get truly scary, but for now, utilized on the wrong side of the map. No way for them to know that, but smoke down as well in front of the turret. You can see that on double doors. So for KRU, they're losing information without really knowing it.
Yeah, they've got Klaus back towards the spawn though. He's been like sort of jiggling back and forth. Just gonna use his flash in towards Art. The thing is though, again, I feel like Giants are expecting there to be some sort of push across the map. A lot of the time with this Viper Harbor, you're able to sort of lock down an angle and then pressure off the back of it. Instead now they go pushing in towards this mid connector. Mouser again just looking to try and delay as much as possible, even throwing down the cove as something they'll have to try and break through. They've only got 20 seconds here, Mitch.
Yeah, the time is incredibly low, and they still have utility to fight their way through. Davies tucked in a corner, might have a chance to do some damage. He's popped the nano, they don't expect him then, but he's only good for the one. An attempt to deny this spike plant, and it will not be found. So Kesnet now in a 1 versus 3, has to try to fight back through, get that defused, Blade Storm activated, AWP in hand, and he's on his way. He's being revealed. They know not to overpeak him, not to give him that chance. It'll be off a flash if it comes through at all. And I think the contact off a sound cue more so. There it is. Oh, nice attempt. But in the end, it wasn't going to go his way. Too many players waiting on the other side. And Giants now on 9, having destroyed the full buy of KRU, might just leave them onto an eco, put them on the home stretch for the attackers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We now have to start talking about what this match means for either side. Giants looking to fight for a rematch versus EDG. A close game the first time out, and for KRU, if they lose this map, they're out. That's it. Their miracle run, which was through a 0-9 season all the way from the very beginning of LCQ to now, could be ending in defeat. But the fact is, you can never count this team out. When the pressure is on, it seems like that's when they arise. And unfortunately for them, this round, not likely to be the turning point. The thing is, though, I like that round from Giants. Even though they were late into that site, they were methodical. Even with a couple of sneaky plays coming out from the defense, they were very good on their trading. It is something we talk about a lot when we speak of Giants as their structure, their fundamentals. A lot of buzzwords. For now, though, it's just a stack on the A site. And with already Fatinho taking a lot of space, nothing really being spotted, it's going to be patient from Giants. There's no doubt about that. But if they walk up into this B site, there is no one here.
You don't always get the reward for that patience. Sometimes delaying this long sees KRU rotate already and now stacked up on B, but that's not the case in this reality. Giants seem to have some free control. They'll be able to walk their way in, grab a plant, and then have just pistols and a Marshal to deal with in the post plant.
I've got
Maybe
your 30 seconds left.
strength in numbers can come into play. And look, they're not even certain. It's too quiet here. They're sending out Seekers to try and confirm. They've done just that. They know everybody's off site. Over towards double doors are the closest players. Maybe the pace from someone like Kesnet could catch them off. Already pretty close. Marshal in hand. Shot fired off. Nothing landed though. And that's his dash already burned. Rhyme knows there's a player reloading close, but now he's overstayed his welcome a little bit. It's getting scary. The shots aren't hitting either. Fatinho has to hightail it out of here. Left on 40. He's actually gonna...
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was gonna say the shorty out, but somehow he got the kill with it. Great damage done, but at the end of the day, it's a round win for the side of Giants. Certainly cost them more than they would have liked, but everything important carrying through in the credits there to back them up.
Yeah.
KRU 3 behind, and this is a buy round that means everything to them.
Well, all I'm going to say is thank God for Hoodie. Like, if he doesn't manage to basically quickly adjust his aim to kill both of those players off as they swing him together, that round could have very easily gone the other way.
I thought that was a high five or his way of saying stop talking.
No, stop here. That's exactly how Pipson talks, by the way. Perfect impression.
This is excellent.
10-7. As said, for KRU, this screams elimination. If they can't manage to turn this back and turn it back soon, the operator will be back in hand once again, and The Giants guys are having a great time. Looking to get themselves that first victory at Champions, something that many teams have turned up to international events and failed to do. The fact is, though, they are well on their way. As said, in this map, they've lost both pistols, and even within the first few rounds of this half, they are firmly within the lead. Unless there's going to be a drastic change in what KRU have to offer, you have to feel like this is theirs to take. Even still, though, I've learned throughout history over the last few years, you never, ever doubt KRU, and you especially never doubt Kesnet.
Listen, I've been there many times before, Tom. I've
certified hater
since almost. I can't even deny it. Looking at the history, and every time they come out swinging and prove me wrong. Thought that's what I was doing for them with the 2-0 prediction, but
maybe
we'll see. There's still plenty of runway ahead of them, but this bye round could be a turning point for the side of KRU.
It has
Operator,
to be.
It very much does. If they stumble here, Giants are knocking on victory's door and only need one more.
I feel like that was the moment, Kargon. I have just seen Kesnet with an operator.
Run.
Let's go back. But the thing is, Kesnet gone. They've just seen me with an operator. I'm going to go to the other side of the map. And he's stacked up. They've got 4 players on A right now. If they were to hit this throughout, this is the best opportunity the KRU could possibly have, with almost their entire team waiting for this take.
Seekers going out, confirming that they're walking into this stack, but hold on, how much utility is being seen by the side of Giants? Did they get spooked now? They've seen Seekers, they see Killjoy utility, they've seen a Snakebite as well. Sure, 1 burned up already. Little bit of weight off your shoulders, and actually it's 2. I don't know if they know that though. Exit has none left. No utility, just a rifle player now. Same thing for Davies. They've burned it up. And I like the idea, okay, so they've pumped the brakes, hoping the KRU think it's a fake, hoping the KRU think it's the B-side instead, and they do because Kesnet's rotated.
left.
There's 3 players now in position to hold this off, and kind of awkward for them. They've got to time this run through perfectly. Davies got 1, no punish until Cloud comes through, but Klaus is there to catch him. Vitinho in an awkward spot. He's good for 1, but that's it. No escape. With the plant coming in eventually, Giants find themselves behind at 2 versus 3 now in front of them. And one of those is still Kesnet.
The thing is, though, if you'd want anybody, Nuke, Rhyme, post-plant positions, looking to just try and play off of each other. Nuke holding patiently for the swing, but Mel's is going to win that fight. And now the IGL of Rhyme, he has to spam away. Needs to get rid of this cove, which he has done, but the smoke leaves it impossible. They're going to defuse under his nose. KRU will hold the line and begin what is a much-needed comeback.
That was the round for them, as we said, a potential turning point for the squad. Now sitting at 10-8. The economy's still good for Giants, but KRU have got a little bit of a credit, a bankroll to work with.
I think the main thing is the ults. The fact that all they really utilized in that round was the Seekers. Threw that in to just basically get them that information for sure that they were going in that direction. Now, though, Viper's Pit, Reckoning, Lockdown as well. They have perfect ultimates for any form of retake. Once again, a similar setup, but this time it seems like Giants are going for a much more direct approach. It could just be an attempt to farm up the orb, but they've taken further control here.
As you said, those ultis, a big weight off the shoulders of KRU if they do have to go for retakes. Huge potential to shut Giants out post-plant. They're seeing utility on its way. Snakebite down. Landed perfectly on the stairs, but doesn't matter. It's enough to deter, you would think. Maybe not, though, because Vitinho's gone up and over into the site. Reckoning in play. Sorry, Lockdown, excuse me. It was the Defender Killjoy ultimate. That's why we see the response of a Hunter's Fury to destroy it. But KRU still have managed to hold on to this control. There are 5 players sat here waiting for the side of Giants to go for that plan so they can burst out and take them down. The flash used by Klaus. Now, they don't have another one if they do want to actually execute, but that was just checking that they're still here.
Oh, the spam. Rhymes had to pretty much move completely out of there, and now the Reckoning, 30 seconds left. Are they actually going to hightail it all the way back around to the B side? The thing is, I think they will have heard each other's steps. Nuke was right up against that wall. I think he knows that Kesnet is already making his way round in towards the site. He needs to hit this shot, and he will. Exactly when needed. The rest of the players, they should save. There's no way that Rhyme gets a plant in from here. The others out towards long. KRU, again, have been able to hold them back. The high impact ults and the shots just not missing. The difference now down to just 1.
They're hunting him too. Ryan won't get away with his life or his rifle. Further cost added to the side of Giants if they do want to go for a buy. And with just 1 round in the lead, the big thing is that KRU felt like they had full control in that round. They were defending the right side every single time. The rotations were...
It's just reliance on Kesnet to hold on to that B side while they stack up on A, not allowing those same sort of executions, a lot of wallbang spams as well to try and make things more awkward. And more importantly, the ults were very impactful over the last couple. They do have a Viper's Pit, but that's the only ult online in the entire server at the moment.
Again, retake potential for the side of KRU. With that pit online, they can stop a push, but by the looks of it, they want to make a push right away. The A site has a lot of players from KRU, and it's a good thing they've been spotted with that cam out from Nukia. He knows there's aggression, and he'll back off, giving the control. There's not a quick response from Giants, though. It's not like they go blitzing down into B, conscious that there could just be 1 or 2 players moving up on A. They could be waiting, baiting them into a trap elsewhere on the map. That's not the case. They're just going to go info finding in the mid-round.
Yeah, just stalling a little bit. You can see still Mouse's utility just... They don't know how much control Giants have actually taken, so they're happy to just section off that connector. Art is going to be the main pressure point, but the thing is, with Nags so far forward, he could make this very awkward for them. He could even put a pit that cuts off both angles if he really wanted to. The fact is, though, that's more of just a ruse. And again, the read coming out from KRU is spot on. The majority of their players, at least for the moment, are going to be in the right place at the right time. The thing is, though, already forcing 1 off the angle, the drone getting so much info as they look to pressure in.
I've seen Davies going through the smoke to try and take that fight. Ryan got surprised by it. Davies is still going. That's his 3rd kill. With Cloud falling, the spike is on the floor, and so is Hoodie. Nukia soon to follow suit. He'll pick up 1 on the Kesnet, but still 3 players to take down. 15 seconds, a spike to be planted. They will never allow this to happen. And there you go, Davies with his 4th of the round. KRU are still alive, and now they're looking for the lead.
Yeah, no, they're starting to really turn this one onto his head. It's been 3 rounds in a row. You've seen as well, just Davies, it was wild. Like, the fact is, I almost feel like that was just an attempt to try and defend Kesnet. Like, he gets tagged up by the drone, he's stuck at the back of the site, there's util flying, and I think in that moment, Davies realized, okay, I have to make a play, I have to take a risk, and his risk paid off perfectly. The fact is, over the last few rounds, Giants have been falling into the trap, the more stacked up side of the map, and actually it's been mostly site control. Like, even just look at where the alarm bot is right now. It's just to stop them getting into the spawn. Everything else, KRU have just been going, okay, let's push A, let's hold B. We're not going to actually play the middle parts of the map at all.
They certainly haven't needed to. You saw Giants attempt at that on the defense, but KRU were always able to thread the needle, sneak up behind them, and just cause headaches. KRU, though, seems to be a lot more success, at least so far.
Giants have picked up the pace, though. I think they're starting to realize, okay, well, the last few rounds we managed to clear this for free, so rather than spending a lot of utility to do that, let's just sprint through at the beginning of the round and see what we find. And well, now they managed to get here about 30 seconds earlier.
It's all about trading if someone was there confident in their individual ability, and they better be, because on the way out, they're going to see Melzer, but they haven't seen the operator standing on the site. Kesnet peeks out and says hello to Fedinho. They need to find him, and they can't root him out. Here's the Blade Storm to back him up. He'll be safe for a moment while those Seekers fade away. And now he can set up back in the spawn for more. 2 kills under his belt already, and 2 left on the board with Nukia and Rhyme. A safe plant found. Does he even have anything to get out of here? No stars, none refreshing. Rhyme is just a pure duelist now, has to take fights, and he'll get nothing done. Leaving it to Nukia. If anyone was going to clutch from this position, it would be this man. He starts it out well with Kesnet down. He hears the steps of the others, but they're about to round the corner. He's flashed, he's blinded, and he's not able to find this. Surely the snake bite up and over his head. Nags it, shooting below it. 11 on the board. The lead is for KRU.
And the fact is as well, like, you watch them go identical play. Because that's the thing, a lot of these rounds from KRU have been adapting their stacks, almost gambling on the side of a map. So I don't mind it from Giants. They go, okay, last round we really took our time to split through that connector and make our way onto this B site. Let's do it much faster and hope they don't rotate in time. The problem is, not only did they rotate in time, but this time they didn't tag up Kesnet. And that's the difference. Like, you tag up Melcy, you take him down, but there is still the biggest threat on the side of KRU, standing at the back. 25 and 16, a difference maker. Well, I don't need to point it out to you. You can see that at home already.
No, it's an unbelievable performance from this man. We said that Fatinho was dangerous in opening duels, but wow, Kesnet, not only for the first, he's always good for 2 or 3 more afterwards. It's the scary thing. Now on the way in, Klaus has already opened it, and Fatinho won't have any success. No space found as he finds himself down and out of the round before his teammates make it out of A main. This is a troubling start to this attacking round for Giants. Losing out on this one, a lot of players won't have money for the next, and KRU will be knocking on victory's door with 12 to 10. We need to see something from these attackers, and they're hoping they can find success on B.
It's a site that's currently empty, but we've witnessed it already from KRU. They are happy to play off their advantages. I think with the time gone, and with the flash going through, this might be where we start to witness a rotation. In fact, no, everybody still just sat on the other side of the map. It has been quite often the case for Giants to just pause and then hit the same site, so it looks like they're just going for that hard read, and if they're wrong, well, it will just be the hit in towards the site, but you can start seeing them shuffling. Kesnet already making his move, and of course, if you're on the Giants side, you're not going to expect this. You're not going to expect 0 players to be on B, so you have to take your time.
The reality is, KRU's retakes have already been on point.
Left.
Add to that the fact that they have the Viper split if things get a little scary.
And almost all their util. Like, look how much util, other than Davies, which for obvious reasons is on the ground, they still have the Tiger, they still have a Flash, they still have all of the smokes, they still have a snake bite. Like, and they might not even need it, because they got Kesnet, who's just gonna pop ahead a second as well. Like, they don't even need any of the util when this man's around. It just wipes them out, makes it look easy. A Prime Gaming flawless for KRU, as they now sit 1 round away from taking us to a 3rd map, to taking us to split. Exactly where we wanted to end up within this series. The Giants, well, they need an answer, Mitch.
They most certainly do. And the side of Giants will seek that answer out in the brain of Pipson, who no doubt will be hitting WPM that's never been seen before. The words per minute about to go off the charts. See him taking notes there in the previous round. That was flawless for the side of KRU, and it very much looked that way. 12 to 10, 2 chances for KRU to close this and push us all the way to split. The 3rd map in this series, and frankly, a map that we deserve to see.
It must be really frustrating for Giants as well, because at this point, KRU have basically just given them the keys to the castle. They've gone, you can have the whole map. We'll give you absolutely everything except the sites, and you can try and make it work. We'll just hit the shots. We'll land our utility. And well, in most cases, it's just been those firefights. Every single one of them have been going KRU's way. Financially off the charts, and unfortunately for the side of Giants, the ults they have online, they're not the ones that win you rounds. Like, you might be able to get something done to get into the site with the Cosmic Divide, but when you look at the fact they have a lockdown and a Viper Spit, like, Nax hasn't needed to use it. He's been sat on that for ages.
That's the thing, yeah, we mentioned it a long time ago about the potential of it, and we haven't seen that potential just yet. Hasn't been needed, and with the last round being flawless, yeah, he would have been a lunatic to go throwing it in. The work being done by Kesnet is clear. 27 kills. Tom, you said he needs to go probably above 30.
He's almost there.
He's real damn close.
Yeah.
And even with 1 round left, I think there's a possibility we get there. Even look at him. He's starting this round out in the right position. All 5 targets on his way. A target-rich environment. Let's see if he can farm up the kills. Drone already destroyed, and he's biding his time. He's letting them feel safe. Finally, they've realized he's here, and it hasn't cost them one of their players. Thankfully, a blind shot through the smoke not landing either. But he hasn't had the chance really out in the open again. He will in just a moment, but with Klaus going down, with Melzer falling, now more than ever they need Kesnet.
Yeah, more direct approach from Giants. Back to basics. They've been playing down the time, and the run and gun is what works out for them. Trading effectively back to those fundamentals. Still, though, plenty to play with. I think it's though with Kesnet gone. In fact, Nuke, he's just worked out as the entry fragger in this one. A completely different style to everything we've seen from Giants, but whatever it is, it's working. And what Vanags did, look, financially, they could just try and make this one costly, but it isn't going to make a difference. An 11th round, a blip on what has been a huge streak of rounds for KRU. But the fact is, one more blip, and we go to overtime.
Well, that's Kesnet not hitting the shots with the operator, which is a serious rarity. I find it hard to believe we'll see that again. But with Nuke getting close, he was able to find all the value. As we said, he had a very slow start to the game on that defensive side, but certainly coming alive in the last few. One round left in regulation, either map 3 or overtime, about to be decided. And once again, Kesnet seems to be in the right place. He's on B long, operator in hand, and plenty of players on their way. And there's his shot again. It will fail to find its mark. He has a backup rifle to play with, though.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a surprise. Again, the same style of execution. This time with the Cosmic Divide, though, he's spamming with that Phantom. Does a little bit of damage, but nothing to really write home about. They're just going to try and hold on to some of that control, at least it seemed. Lockdown is available for Davies, though. This will force them back that little bit further. Hoodie, for now, pressuring forward, but it feels like they almost have to fall back. Instead, though, no, they wait. They use the Hunter's Fury to deny that extra space and leave it into a 5v5 retake.
Yeah, they waited a moment just to delay KRU as they're waiting for the lockdown to come through. It's finally destroyed. Now they have to go back into all these positions and clear them out the old-fashioned way. And it's not going well. Giants already with 3. Kesnet tries to have his hero round, but Cloud steps up. 12 to 12. We go again. Pearl overtime.
Well, he didn't make it past 30. That's what it was. 29.
Well, you didn't say in regulation.
29.
You said for him to win, for them to win the game, to win this map, he needs more than 30.
It's assumed.
He's going to do it now.
You don't know. You don't know. I will say, though, I like the fact that Pipson definitely took notes out of the book of Paper X.
Yep.
If things ain't working, just go for that B play.
Disrespect him.
Solid work from the side of Giants. As said, like, they definitely have those fundamentals down to a T, the trading, Sublime, the supportive utility, and it seems like maybe just the overthinking of it is what has cost them, or maybe just the pressure has got to KRU. They were looking down and out before the 5-round streak. 10-7 was the scoreline in favor of Giants. Now they have a chance once again to take this over the line in 2.
I think we're robbed if we don't go all the way to split. Giants, on that defensive side, they've looked good in some of these bye rounds. The challenge was really holding on to art control, holding on to mid. They put Vitinho here, and he's taking Kesnet out, following up for more. Surely he stops here. The dash online. We don't want to see him overheat because it's a 5 versus 2. Melzer and Nagsit with it all to do. KRU may just be mounting their defense, facing down the barrel of elimination.
You need the ultimate amount of Krupium to believe they'll be able to take this round over the line. Art was one of their major successes in the early rounds of this matchup. It was something very quickly adapted to by Giants. And now Melzer left in an impossible clutch. 1 versus 5. I have to believe they're going to have to try and do this once again on their own defensive side. Nothing to be found. A prime gaming flawless for Giants to take this one to match point, and for KRU, elimination just 1 round away.
Match and series on the line. Life at the international event about to be stolen away, and for KRU, being a champions, they want to push.
Make it to Tokyo. Fell a little bit flat, and then made it into LCQ fairly clean in the end. Didn't even have to show too much to opponents. Now we get to see if they can do it here, get their first victory at Champions, get that rematch versus EDG, or if KRU will be a thorn in their side once again.
A revenge match on the line for Giants. I can't let that occupy their mind just yet, though. 1 round away from locking it in. No operator. Instead, it's the rifles and an aggressive stance from KRU. Beginning it and pushing up and around this corner on A, spamming through, but not able to force an open fight. The cage blocking sight lines, and Giants want to speed up. I thought they were going to split A for a second, but it's the right call. Clearing out this space they've seen for free before and blitzing down to B. But look at the rotation. KRU are here.
Yeah, it's a foot race all the way. This has been the story of this B site. Can they get back into position in time? Keswick goes through the smoke, and he's punished for it. In fact, every player on their swing is being punished. Davies, he doesn't even realize how much control is gone. It's the beginning of the end. Giants look like they have this one set in stone, and only one man stands in their way.
It's not had a bad game so far, but this would be a gargantuan task. The side of Giants, they're already thinking about that matchup. EDG waiting for them. Revenge within their grasp. The final player standing in their way has been spotted. Rhyme will be the one to take it this time as we go 14-12.